That ain't my girl, that's my nigga. Catch me out on Ocean Drive with him. Ay, catch me in the whip, ride with him. Ay, sipping something, bumping big, hypnotized with him.
What is up, you guys? It's your girl Ken, and I'm back with another video. If you are new, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And for all my old heads, of course, welcome back to the channel. So, you guys, we have another episode of Ken's Corner, which is my girl talk series where we just talk all the girl things that I just feel like either you need to know, you need to hear, or we just need to have a conversation about it. Or maybe you got some things that you want to share with me that I need to hear. So yeah, let's do it. So on today's episode, you guys, we're going to be talking about moving away from home. That is our topic for today. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. I feel like there are a couple things that you should know about moving away from home. I moved 7 hours away from home, and it's been crazy. Let's just say that. It's been crazy, but I actually wouldn't change it for the life of me. My first time actually moving from home was when I moved 3 hours away to go to college. The first, couple of months, it was like, okay, I kind of miss being at home. I kind of miss being at home. I kind of miss being at home. And then COVID struck, and then I was at home, and I was like, oh, bitch, I'm ready to go back to school. I'm ready to go back to school. I'm ready to go back to school. And then when I got back to school and I had like my own apartment and I experienced just living on my own for real, like not in a dorm, not with nobody else. I did have a roommate, but we were still in an apartment style living situation. So I got to experience what living on my own really looked like. And I liked it. I liked it just a little bit. But it was still like I was up the street around the corner. You know what I'm saying? Even when I moved into my second apartment out there, like I was still up the street around the corner. But I feel like moving all the way to Georgia, like out of the states, has been completely different, okay? The first thing that I will say, if you are thinking about moving away from home, maybe you're about to graduate and you're thinking about moving to another state, you're thinking about moving hours away, okay? I talked about this in episode 1, but you need to save you some money. You need to have you a savings account, okay? Save at least about, I'd say about up to 3 months worth of rent, okay? When I decided to move to Atlanta, I literally came to Atlanta for what was it? I came out here for a girls trip, you guys. And I was like, I'm moving to Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta because I also wanted to pursue doing hair. So I wanted to go to hair school and everything like that. You know, just all the things, okay? I wasn't thinking completely through. I was just like, yeah, I want to go to school so I can start doing hair. So I can, you know, XYZ, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Okay, but regardless, I knew I wanted to move to Atlanta. I literally did not start saving for me to move to Atlanta until the day I graduated, which was May of 2023, and I moved to Atlanta in September of 2023. I had no money saved, no plan, no nothing. No apartments, no nothing. Like, I just knew I'm moving to Atlanta. Like, I literally had no plan, y'all. I was just like, I'm moving to Atlanta, I'm moving to Atlanta. My lease was up in July, so I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna move. Save you some money, okay? Start saving, start putting that money away, because there are other things that come with it. Because when you get your first real big girl apartment, it's so many different things that I wish I would have knew. Like, it's so many different things that stuff, like now when I go into my next apartment, I know to be looking out for. You need to be saving you some money. You do have to pay application fees when you're applying for these apartments and stuff like that. Like, you have to pay an application fee. So be very strategic about the apartment that you want. Take your time when you're looking apartment hunting, okay? Like, all the places that I looked at, I didn't even move into any of them because they were out of range as far as budget. Like, it was crazy, right? But take the time to really find apartments. If you're moving to another state, maybe try to take a trip, you know, a couple day trip, so you can go out there, go tour the apartments, get a feel for the apartments, get a feel for the property managers and stuff like that, you know, a feel for the community, everywhere that you're surrounded by, see some things that you like and that you don't like, you know, things like that. Make sure that you are taking the time to do that, but you need to be saving you some money, okay? Save you a couple thousands of dollars, because it's not just money for the first and last month's rent and deposit. And plus, depending on your credit score, you never know how much that deposit is going to be. So you need to be saving that money because you got to pay the application fees too. Then you also have to remember you got to get a U-Haul, and if you got a car and you're not driving the car there, like, you may have to get the extra dolly to put on the back of the U-Haul to take to put the car on the back. Like, it's so much. I think overall my cost to move out here to Atlanta was maybe like $10K, because like $9K of it was literally for my U-Haul and for me to even move in. Crazy, right? That's mad crazy. Mad crazy. But you need to be saving you some money. I know some people tell you like, oh, you don't need to save no money to move into an apartment. That is not responsible, okay? Some people can do that, but that's just not responsible. I'm just telling you from things that I've experienced. Just save you some money and maybe like, you know, start working, taking up extra shifts. Maybe like DoorDash on the side. That's what I used to do. I used to DoorDash on the side of my regular job. I stopped really going out for real. Like, I might go out here and there, but I really wasn't going out. I wasn't spending no extra money on things because I had goals and things like that. So, yeah. But you need to be saving you at least 10 bands, bro. Like, just to be comfortable. Just to be comfortable, because you're moving to a whole nother state. Like, shit get crazy. You get what I'm saying? Once you have all your money saved up and everything, you need to be really checking your credit score, y'all. That thing is so important. That thing is so important. I don't think I ever checked my credit score in college because I just was like, yeah. But no, credit is really important when it comes to getting your apartment. And especially if you do get approved for the apartment, they also base your deposit off of your credit score. Like, I think I paid my whole thing worth of rent, if I'm not mistaken, as my deposit. Like, yes, like, you literally, that is so freaking important, keeping that credit score up there, like 650 and up at least. Like, 650 should be up there. Like, just get it up there, okay? Because they be checking, and it's so much. And when you're in a different state and you're trying to communicate with these people, it's so much. So credit score is really important. So make sure that you're checking your credit score. Make sure that your credit score is good. You know what I'm saying? Because them application fees, they start to add up. Okay, I say pick your top 3 apartments that you want to move into that are affordable within your price range, because them like actually checking your credit to approve your application, like that also hits your credit, you know? So you want to make sure that you're doing things like that. But girl, that credit score is so important. Not only is your credit score important, but your income is important, okay? So for my apartment, like, they wanted proof of income. I'm not gonna hold you, baby. I lied. A lot of people do that because they want you to make 3 times the rent, which, I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of crazy work. That's real crazy work. But be ready to start doing stuff like that. I know some like apartments do like through third parties and stuff like that, but like you gotta go through like your bank statements if you do any like extra work. So like for me, doing social media, or when I was door dashing, like I had to provide all those statements, like where the money was at, where it was coming from, like everything. Okay, but I also had a offer letter that was drafted up for me to indicate how much I was having come in, right? So if you do have a job, like before you move out to wherever, like get them to draft you up an offer letter saying how much you're going to be making salary per year, so that they can also take a look into that and factor it in. So that is a really another major important piece, because I ain't gonna lie, they gave me the runaround. They gave me the runaround with the whole bank statement and this, that, and the third, and the job. It was a lot, y'all. It was a lot, okay? Another thing, if you gonna move from home, girl, have you a job, a stable job. Like, don't move somewhere with, like, no plan. I know, I tried to do it. I was gonna move out here, no job, just, like, trusting in God, whatever the case may be. And my friend was like, no. Don't do that. She was like, because It's so hard. It is so hard. Like if you get out there and you just like that's gonna be so hard. She was like, no, get you a job first, secure you something, and then XYZ. And that's exactly what I did. I did my interview virtually. Some people will do the interview virtually because you are in another state. Do your interview virtually if you can. If they want you to fly out there, you know, you can try if you can actually do that, if you're able to do it. But a lot of them will work with you and do a virtual interview, and you'll be fine, girl. You'll be fine. But yes, get you a job secured so that way, you know, maybe move in 2 to 3 weeks before you actually start your job, so you can get fully moved in, get comfortable, things like that. And yeah, that way you won't be out here looking crazy. Okay. Those were some things that I had to factor in before I actually moved in, right? So making sure that I had the money. I honestly didn't worry too much about furnishing my whole apartment. Like, my apartment is still not done to me. I literally didn't get a couch till May of 2024, and I moved in here September 2023. I ain't worried about it, girl, as long as I had a bed. And don't be scared to like shop in like places like Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, stuff like that. Girl, do not be scared to shop there. The Dollar Tree too, because baby, the Dollar Tree was my bestie and still is to this day. Okay, don't be scared to go there when you are moving into your apartment. Like, please, girl. Anywho, but yes, once you get all your funds together, you have a plan, you know where you want to move, you've done a couple apartment tours to kind of see what you like and things like that, you've done the application, you get approved, you know, everything, you're ready to move. Yes, you're ready to move. So that was basically everything that I did. I told you I did not start saving until May, and I didn't move in until September. So originally I was supposed to move in August, but it got pushed back to September because I was going back and forth with my apartment about 1 bedrooms and stuff like that, like just going back and forth with him. So eventually he just gave me the 1 bedroom, and I was like, okay, period. T. But really those months I was spending like grinding, making my money, making sure that everything was in place with that, securing a job, making sure the offer letter was good, you know, stuff like that, whatever the case may be. When I moved out here, I had the U-Haul. Now, depending on how much stuff you have, and I have a lot of stuff, okay? I have a lot of stuff. I got like a medium U-Haul, so you might not need no real big U-Haul. Girl, get you a medium U-Haul. You can get you some movers if you want to. But I got a medium U-Haul, and I got the dolly to put my truck on the back because I did not trust driving my truck 7 hours away. Because Red had some problems at the time. And that's another thing. When you are moving out of town to where like you may not know nobody or you don't have no immediate family there, y'all, get your vehicle, like get everything done on that vehicle before you decide to truck it to another city. Because baby, I promise you, I got my uncle to fix my girl up, and anytime I had an issue, I always went back home and got everything fixed. But that is a 7-hour drive, like you know what I'm saying? So you really need to make sure that you get your car inspected before you take it to another state, another location, whatever the case may be. Get all that ish done in your hometown where you know somebody that can do it, you know somebody that do it good, all them good things, okay? That's just a little side tip. Anywho, so I came, moved, signed my papers. You do have to realize when you get that big girl apartment, baby, everything is in your name, okay? The apartment in your name, them bills, like my Georgia Power, like all that, everything was in my name. So now you got real big girl bills, okay? So don't get frightened, because he was telling me all this stuff and I was like, oh, this is for real. This not for play. Like, I'm really big girl moving into an apartment. Okay, so got everything, moved to my apartment, you know, everything cool, right? The one thing I will say about moving away from home that I feel like it has done for me is it forced me to grow up a lot. Okay, it has forced me to be a lot more financially responsible and a lot more responsible with decision making, because when you move into that apartment, you got to pay the rent, the utilities, you got a light bill. On top of like your other bills you may have subscriptions, you may have a phone bill, a credit card bill, a car note, car insurance, and then you also have to pay renter's insurance too. So, you know, it's so many different things that you have to factor in that I don't think I factored in. You know what I'm saying? I just was like, oh, I'm in this apartment. It's real nice. I like it. Blah, blah, blah. Mind you, I had never seen my apartment before I even moved in. I just knew I was moving into the apartment. I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know nothing. Okay? But I love my little apartment. Anywho. But it just made me be a lot more financially responsible. Like, if I know, like, for example, I wanted to go out of town. I had went out of town already. I was back home for Thanksgiving, and I wanted to go to New Orleans. But I was like, hold on, because I still have to go back home. I have responsibilities because you got to get groceries. You got to have gas in your car, like all that type of stuff. So I'm like, hold on, like, I got this, and this. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to New Orleans. Like, that just financially would not be responsible. So I feel like moving away from home really forced me to be a little more financially responsible. I ain't gonna say all the way financially responsible, but guess what? Thank God my rent always get paid on the 1st. I don't pay it no later than the 1st, maybe even the 2nd. But I like to go ahead and get that out the way on the 1st, because when you get a late charge to your big girl apartment, you're going to be paying some extra money. Like, my first apartment, it was just like, if you was late, it may be like an extra like $50, maybe extra $100. You know what I'm saying? No, they are taking percentages of your rent, which is big girl rent. Okay, they're taking percentages of that and adding it to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you don't want that. You do not want that. So them late fees, girl, you do not want that. I'm telling you, when you get this big girl apartment, you do not want that. So it just like, it makes you have to really think about stuff before you do it and make sure that everything is aligned for your financials, basically, if that makes sense. I also feel like moving away from home, it teaches you how to be by yourself, especially if you live alone or whatever the case may be. It really does force you to learn how to be by yourself, learn how to enjoy your own company. Okay, makes you learn a lot more about yourself, things like that. But it also gives you freedom and privacy. That's the one thing that I love about leaving from home. Like, it gives you privacy, it gives you peace. Like, I'm telling you, when I be back home for too long, I'll be like, okay, I'm ready to go to my home. And as soon as I get back to my home, like, just walking into something that is mine, that I pay for, I just walk in here and I'm just like, thank you, Lord. I'm back at home, in my place, in my bed, okay, in my shower. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like the peace and the freedom. It's just, I can leave here when I want to. I can come back when I want to. I don't have to, like, if I want to just have a very depressing week and just not pick up nothing all day, I don't have to. Like, I don't have to cook every day if I don't want to. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. If I don't want to. If I don't want to. Like, I don't have to. Yeah. So, it's just like, once you experience that one time, like, you're gonna want to experience that more. If that makes sense. Also, moving away from home, for me, I feel like it kind of pushes me sometimes to do a lot better, because you have family back at home and maybe you want your family to like explore more or go do this, go do that. So with you living in another state or you living in another area, maybe like you're pushing yourself to go harder because maybe you want to make enough money to maybe move your family somewhere else, or maybe have your family actually like explore the world and come maybe see you. You get what I'm saying? Like, it gives you things like that and things like that to think about. Also, moving away from home, like, once you get so used to being on your own, you gonna always want to be on your own, right? Like, you be like, yeah, I don't want to move back home. Some people do. Some people move back home. Some people have no issues with it. They're just like, yeah, I'm going to move back home because I don't like this. No, baby. I love it. Like, I feel like if I moved back home, it would drive me insane. To insanity, actually. So when you move away from home, like, just knowing that I have no choice but to grind and, like, make everything happen for me. You know what I'm saying? Because going back home is not an option. You know, like, it just pushes you to do stuff different, think differently, you know, move differently and things like that. I think that moving away from home is a great experience for everyone at least one time. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But I think that it is worth it. I honestly do. And I also think moving to a different state or a different area and you don't know anybody and things like that, like, it forces you to actually, like, try to meet people, try to make connections, try to do different things in the city, try and explore around. Like, me moving to Atlanta is really, really big. Well, it's not big, actually. It's really, really small. But, you know, Atlanta has so many different things to offer. And it's not just Atlanta. It's, like, everywhere surrounding Atlanta. You get what I'm saying? It has so much to offer. There are so many different places for you to try. There are so many black-owned businesses. There are shopping malls. There's everything out here, right? Like, there should never be a dull moment. Now, do I be going? No, I'm trying to get in the habit of going now that I'm not tied down to nothing like I was. So I'm trying to get out and explore more. But there's so much to do out here in Atlanta. Like, you could never get bored, if that makes sense. I will say at first, like, I did not like the city. And I think I didn't like it because of where I worked. And I was just like, y'all got too much going on out here. Like, no. And then I wasn't able to have fun like I wanted to. I wasn't able to have my weekends like I wanted to because I was on the clock 24/7. But now it's like I have all the time in the world. Like, I can go out and explore if I want to. I can go do this. I can go do that. I've started making connections with people and actually, like, reaching out to them, see if they want to do anything, you know, trying to hang out and stuff like that. So I just feel like when you move into a brand new city or a brand new state or whatever the case may be, like, it just forces you to meet people. That's like you go to college. You don't know anybody, but you force yourself to meet people. You start, you know, hanging around people. Maybe you like them, maybe you don't. But as an adult, definitely be careful with that because people, y'all know, if you know, you know, people is a little weird. They is a little weird, a little scurry, okay? So be careful. This is not like college. You gotta be careful. But it does give you the opportunity to do those things. It gives you the opportunity to go and network with others so that you can eventually build your own friend group in the city. Right? So I feel like it's absolutely worth it to move to another state. I feel like do not be scared. Was I scared? I don't think so. I think I was more so sad because, you know, I have a little sister and my little sister is 6. So she was like crying, which made me cry because I'm like, now, even though I have been living on my own for like 2-3 years at the time, it was just like I'm not as close to her. You know what I'm saying? So it was a little sad. But, like, other than that, I really wasn't sad. I don't think I got... When I moved to Atlanta, I really did not get homesick like that. I guess because I had already kind of prepared myself because I had already lived maybe like 3.5 hours away before. And I wasn't able to go home as much because I was working and I was in school and stuff like that. So it was like, once I moved to Atlanta, it's like, what's up? You know? What's up? But I do think that everyone should at least experience moving away from home at least one time. Seeing what you like, what you don't like. Learning to live alone. Learning to be by yourself. Be at peace. Protect your energy by all costs. I think it is a great experience. It teaches you a bunch of lessons. And it does help you to improve on things that maybe you probably wasn't going to improve on. Now, at such a young age, like, a lot of people, they try to stay at home, stay with their parents as much as they can, stack their money. That's not a bad idea. But for me, I knew that I had to move because the area that I was in, like in Baton Rouge, like, I just felt like it was not going to do anything for me, because it was like so much to get into. It's like you're seeing the same people. I felt like I was going to get trapped in the same circle. So I had already been there for 4 years, and once I graduated from college, I'm like, okay, I gotta go. I got bigger, better plans. I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? And I literally prayed so hard to move to Atlanta. Prayed so hard. And I moved to Atlanta. And I'm out here in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So I just think, like, really, really pray about it. Talk to God about it before you start making any type of decisions. Because if it's meant for you to go, then you will go. If it's not, then you won't. Sometimes, you know, things shift. Because I surely thought I was going in August, baby, and I didn't go to September. You know what I'm saying? But those are a couple things that I feel like you need to know before you start moving from home. A couple things to look into. A couple things to think about. Also be very strategic. Like, think about what actually makes sense. Okay, don't just up and just do something. You get what I'm saying? Like, really be a little strategic. Like I said, looking for those apartments. And I feel like I could have did a better job at looking for apartments, to be honest, because there are so many apartments, and it's not just even in Atlanta. Like, there's different counties you can look in, different areas. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's so many different things that you could look at or places you can look at to move, which you really don't know till you get to the city. Because I get it, trying to look on TikTok and YouTube and all these different things, that does, you know, do a little 1-2. But make sure that you're doing your research, actually going out to the apartments, looking at them, talking to the people, get that credit together, save that money. Okay, be prepared to get, you know, the U-Hauls, get all your furniture and stuff like that. And if you are blessed enough to have family or friends that can help you travel, that is chef's kiss. Luckily, my mom helped me move out here. My family actually helped me, like, load everything up, get everything together. But my mom actually, like, drove 7 hours with me to move me out here. You know what I'm saying? It was a big girl decision that I just made, just out of nowhere, because I wanted to move to Atlanta originally for something else, but hey, things change. But those are just a couple of things that I feel like you should know before you move from home, and a couple of things that I would love for everyone to experience when you are moving and being out on your own, or even if you have a roommate. I just feel like, regardless, the freedom of being on your own, everyone needs to learn how to be by themselves at some point in life. You need to learn how to live on your own, have those responsibilities of having to pay bills, buy groceries, put the gas in the car, work every day, and live your life at the same time. Okay, I get it, we young and turn, but I feel like everyone at least should experience that, you know, especially before they're like 25, 26. At least experience what that is like on your own, because I'm telling you, once you experience it, you're gonna love it, and you're not gonna want to go back, and it's gonna push you 10 times harder to do whatever you need to do so that you can stay wherever you at. Okay, but I know moving from state to state, that is very, very hard. It's very, very difficult, and that was just the route that I took. That was things that I did to move to another state. So if you guys, of course, have any other advice that you want to drop for the girlies that are thinking about moving or moving to another state, city, whatever the case may be, please make sure to drop that in the comments, because yeah, I want to hear it. But that was my little spill on moving away from home. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the little tips that I gave and the little advice / story time, because that's kind of what it was. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next freaking video. Bye.